the year of the student council wraps up at Shuuchiin Academy, and that was a genuinely sweet episode to bring things to an end. And to new beginnings, of course. It certainly wasn't the most comedic episode, but if you feel close to these characters, it's one of those episodes that you watch with a huge grin on your face as nostalgia and some sadness hits you in the face. Welcome to Gamerturk's Student Council, and let's talk about Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2 Episode 3. We had 2 skits this week, it's actually 3, but the final 2 are literally continuations of each other, so I'm going with 2, both filled with a lot of nostalgia. The first one, which I absolutely loved, was the student council taking the night to watch the moon and the stars around, and Miyuki definitely stole the show here. It was absolutely wonderful. The second one was quite bittersweet in a sense overall, and the one joke in the middle felt incredibly elongated in my opinion, but the end of the episode was absolutely great. There was also a very out of place scene early on, but at this point I have to assume it was a build up for future episodes. Just like last week, I am adding Amazon and Book Depository their links in the description for the manga if you want to grab it. This episode adapted from volume 6 of the manga, and it seems like it's done with it, so I'll add volume 7 link down there as well. So without further ado, the first skit, Shirogane really wants to watch the moon and literally nothing else, which is what makes the skit so great overall, you know? In the first couple of seconds, I thought he was just setting something up to corner Kaguya as usual, but quickly it turned out that he just really wanted to watch the moon. With Kaguya trying to corner him to get him, flustered, all backfires due to the abysmal amount of fucks he gives at that moment to anything but the sky. The amount of throwbacks to season 1's final episode, the fireworks episode, was so wonderful as well. How Miyuki is just talking without care non-stop while not realizing he's saying things he would never say in normal situations, and then Kaguya slapping it all on his face and then running away. And yes, much like the usual throwbacks in Kaguya, that window wiping scene is also from the previous season. Earlier episodes had some scenes refurbished like that too, but I just love the window cleaning scene as Shirogane comes to his senses and cringes at every single line he nonchalantly spouted the night before. Also, the story with Princess Kaguya was really neat in my opinion. I am generally a fan of mythology, though I'm quite specialized in Greek and Roman stuff, so I pretty much know nothing about Japanese mythology, and it's certainly nice to learn more. Also, the payoffs to that story, being jokes aside, I really enjoyed the 2 completely different takes Shirogane and Shinomiya had on the exact same story. At a frantic show like Kaguya-sama, you rarely get these more intimate moments of characters like these, and having these every once in a while puts things into a nice moment to learn more about these characters. Of course, Shirogane not being himself due to the moon and just spouting everything in his mind without a filter helps a lot too. but I'm glad the moment is not played as humorous on Kaguya's side either, making our thoughts sound quite genuine as well. What I'm trying to say is, I love this first sketch in the episode. The second one was the council term coming to an end. They certainly showered us all in nostalgia for a couple of minutes at first. I was scared that this would turn into a recap episode of some sort, so yeah, I'm glad it didn't. I like the focus on Ishigami in those recap-like bits, though. He really does care about this group and genuinely wants to be a part of it, and it's great to see that. But then comes the completely out of place part that I mentioned at the beginning, as Ishigami shows them the secret stairs behind the shelf. I was like, what? And then they just skip to outside of the door, and I was like, what was that all about then? It was such a random scene that it simply has to be on purpose. There's no other way, so I'm expecting the secret passage to return in future episodes for one reason or another, or maybe many. The middle portion with Kaguya not being able to call Shirogane anything but Kaicho, while Ishigami and Chika having no issues with names whatsoever, that felt a little too long for me. I guess the overall joke just didn't land. But I loved the ending of the episode with Kaguya asking Shirogane to be Kaicho for another year, him just taking out the admission letter from the bag like, Haha, I was already going to apply anyways, and now you had to ask me to be here for another year. Okawaii koto moment played off as a joke. But then going back to the school the next day, Shirogane says he had filled the paper, never actually intending to deliver it until now, implying it was Kaguya's request that pushed him over the edge. At least that was my take on it, which just contributed to the sweetness of the episode immensely. As for my favorite moment, I was genuinely stuck between the Princess Kaguya and the moon bit and the final application when Miyuki admits he was not gonna apply earlier, but I just have to go with the Princess Kaguya interpretations of the duo. Overall, I consider this episode to be a very solid one for completely different reasons why I consider the previous episode a very solid one. That was a comedy oriented one. It was more about the sweetness, the regular life, things coming to an end, etc. kind of thing. I enjoyed that. It was just filled with very sweet character moments that overshadowed the little jokey moments here and there, and it certainly was great. What was your favorite scene this week? Do let me know in the comments though. To be frank, I am feeling a severe lack of Okawaii koto moments this season. I really hope they return one way or another. Valga from SAO Wikia is also very excited for the new character who was teased at the end of this episode, so I'll be looking forward to her appearance too. With that out of the way, I hope you like this and make sure to subscribe for more, since anything that is not SAO is out of ordinary for my channel these days. I'd appreciate the support by hitting the like button. Links to Kaguya-sama Love is War manga down in the description. The last sketch in this episode was the final chapter in volume 6, so unless you also want to read chapters the anime skips, looking at the chapter names, it seems to be skipping a bunch, you should get volume 7. But yeah, subscribe for more, do check out Gamerturk merch, maybe you'll find something cool there. Huge thanks to my patrons and channel members as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay cool.